When you open Lumendex, it feels like everything is happening inside the app. You see your balance, your assets, your transaction history, and your account details. It looks familiar because most financial apps train us to think this way. If something appears on the screen, we assume the app is where it lives. But with Stellar, that is not really what is happening. Your Stellar account is not created inside Lumendex. It is not stored inside Lumendex. Lumendex is more like a window or a control panel. It gives you a simple way to interact with the Stellar network. And this difference matters. Once you understand where the account actually exists, it becomes much easier to understand ownership, security, account activation, and why public and secret keys are so important. So in this video, we are going to break down what a Stellar account actually is, what Lumendex does, and why the network behind the interface is the part you really need to understand. Most of the time, we do not think about the systems behind the apps we use. You send a payment and it goes through. You receive a message and it appears instantly. You check your balance and the number is just there. The smoother the experience becomes, the less visible the infrastructure behind it feels. Lumendex fits into that same pattern. From the outside, it may look like Lumendex is the main place where everything happens, but its role is closer to a bridge. It helps you see and use something that exists beyond the app itself. A simple way to think about it is this: Lumendex is not the network. Lumendex connects you to the network. Without an interface like Lumendex, using Stellar would feel much more technical. You would need to deal more directly with keys, transactions, assets, and network rules. Lumendex takes that complexity and turns it into something people can actually use. But the important point is that the account does not belong to the interface. The account exists on Stellar. That is the shift. Instead of asking, "What does Lumendex hold for me?" the better question is, what is Lumendex helping me access? And the answer is the Stellar network. In traditional finance, we are used to accounts being tied to companies. You open an account with a bank. You log in through that bank. The bank manages the account, controls the experience, and sits in the middle of almost everything you do. Stellar works differently. A Stellar account exists directly on the network. Applications can help you access it, but they do not define it. They can make it easier to use, but they are not the place where the account itself lives. That may sound like a small technical detail, but it changes the whole relationship. If your account exists on the network, then the app becomes a tool. It is important, but it is not the center of ownership. The network is where assets exist, where transactions happen, and where settlement takes place. Think of it like using a browser to access a website. The browser is useful, and without it, the experience would be harder. But the website does not live inside the browser. The browser is just the way you reach it. Lumendex plays a similar role for Stellar. It gives you a practical way to interact with the network, but the account itself is part of Stellar's infrastructure. Once this idea clicks, a lot of assumptions start to change. The account is not tied to one specific application. Ownership is not based only on a company login. Access depends on the credentials that control the account on the network. That is where public and secret keys come in. Every Stellar account is built around two very different ideas: identification and control. The public key is the visible address of the account. You can think of it like an account number or a destination address. If someone needs to send assets to your Stellar account, This is what they use. Sharing a public key is not the problem because it only identifies the account. It does not give anyone control over it. The secret key is different. The secret key is what proves authority. It is what allows transactions to be signed. In plain language, it is what gives control over the account. This is why secret keys matter so much. If someone has the secret key, they may be able to control the account. If the secret key is lost, access can become extremely difficult or impossible to recover, depending on how the account is set up. So the public key answers the question, which account are we talking about? The secret key answers a much more serious question, who can control it? This is one of the biggest differences between using a blockchain network and using a traditional app account. In many traditional systems, the company can reset your password or recover access for you. On a network like Stellar, control is much more directly connected to the account credentials. That is powerful, but it also means responsibility matters. There is one more detail that can confuse people at first. A Stellar account needs a small amount of XLM before it becomes active. This is not just a random fee. It is part of how the network works. Stellar uses a minimum balance requirement to keep accounts active and to help protect the network from being filled with unlimited empty accounts. In simple terms, activation gives the account presence on the network. So if a public key is the address and the secret key is the control mechanism, then activation is what makes the account usable on Stellar. This is why the small XLM requirement matters. It is not the main story, but it is part of the structure that keeps the system functional. When you put these pieces together, the picture becomes much clearer. The public key identifies the account. The secret key controls the account. The XLM reserve activates the account. And Lumendex gives you a way to interact with all of that through a more familiar interface. At first glance, Lumendex looks like a financial app, and in one sense, it is. It gives you a screen, tools, balances, transactions, and a way to manage assets. But the more important idea is what Lumendex connects to. Your Stellar account does not live inside Lumendex. It lives on the Stellar network. Lumendex simply helps you reach it, understand it, and use it. That changes how we think about ownership. It changes how we think about access. And it makes the network itself much more important than the surface of the app. Once you understand that, Stellar stops looking like just another financial product. It starts looking more like infrastructure, a system where assets, accounts, and transactions exist beyond a single interface. And that is the key point. Lumendex is the starting point. Stellar is the system underneath. Understanding the difference is what makes the whole thing make sense. If you want to keep learning about Stellar, digital assets, tokenization, interoperability, and the infrastructure behind the movement of value, subscribe to the channel. In the next videos, we will keep looking beyond the surface and focus on the systems that actually make this technology work.